Hey, it's Joe Crump. This next comment question is from Anthony Jones. Anthony says, I'm having trouble getting started with my low credit scores and my lack of money. Everything is join this or join that. I don't have money to join anything right now, let alone know what to join. I'm thinking that I might be best if I were to concentrate on interest-only mortgages on rental homes. That way I can build my reputation while I learn more about other methods while I earn join money. I already have one rental home. It doesn't make me money, but it's my first. I'd like most of my business to be based on rental properties, but first I need to clear my credit. Well, Anthony, don't worry about clearing your credit. That's not important. What you need to worry about is putting deals together. If you put deals together, you're going to make money. And if you put deals together the way I'm teaching, without credit and without down payment, you're going to be a lot better off. Let me just give you an example of a zero-down structure so that you can kind of understand what I'm talking about here. Subject 2. This is a pretty easy structure to understand. Let's say I'm going to take the property subject to the existing loan. And what this means is, let's say we've got a property, and I'm going to use a value of $100,000 because it's just a round figure. Let's say I've got a property that's worth $100,000. It's got a mortgage on it of $90,000, and they have to pay $750 a month for this mortgage. Now, if they go to a real estate agent and try to sell that property, it's probably going to cost them money to sell that property because they're going to have to pay the real estate agent, they're going to have to come down on their price. If at the best, they're going to break even. At the worst, they won't ever sell it at that price. It also is going to take them a long time to move it, whereas you can take that property almost immediately, if not right then and there, depending on your situation. What you can do for them is take the property over subject to the existing loan. You're not going to give them any money. You're not going to give them any of their equity. They don't have any equity. That $10,000 there isn't real equity because they would lose that in negotiating when selling their property and paying a real estate agent to sell it. They also know that they know that when you break that down for them. And if they need to move that property quickly, they're going to be more motivated to make this happen. What they're going to do is deed you the property. So you take the deed to the property. Now you are the owner of the property. You have to pay off this loan, and the loan is not in your name. You didn't qualify for the loan. They're still on the hook for the loan. If you don't make the payments on it, their credit's going to be damaged. So you're going to want to do the best you can for them. But you're also going to make them aware of the fact of what you're doing, how you're doing it, what their risks are. You give them the disclosure that I give you in my safety net method program, which is part of the push button method package that I've got. That's at pushbuttonmethod.com if you're interested. And you make them aware of what their risks are. And most of the time, they're going to be willing to take that risk if they have enough motivation to make that happen. We do subject twos all the time. Getting the deed to the property makes you the absolute owner of that property. Now, yeah, you have a lien on that property by a bank that has to be paid off, that $90,000. But if I went tomorrow and sold that property on a lease with an option to buy to a new investor for $900 a month, now I've got $150 a month cash flow, and in 1 year, when the lease option is exercised, I'll make $20,000 on that property, and I'm going to charge them money up front for a lease option fee. So let's look at this. So if we sell it for $110,000, we charge them a $5,000 lease option fee. Now they still owe me $105,000. They're going to make payments to $900 a month on and I have to make payments of $750 a month. So I'm going to make $150 a month on this property. They're responsible for taking care of the property. Any maintenance issues, any of those types of things, we write it into the contract that the new buyer is responsible for those things. So I've made $5,000 up front. I'm making $150 a month over the year period. I'm getting tax depreciation off of my income on that property. So on that $90,000 purchase price, I'm able to deduct that, and you have to break it down over 27.5 years. But then you can deduct that amount divided by 27.5. That $90,000 divided by 27.5, and whatever that figure is, about $3,000, $3,500, somewhere in that, you can deduct from your taxable income. So if you made $10,000 that year, you can deduct the $3,500 from it. Now you only made $6,500 that year in taxable income. Which means, in reality, if you're paying a 35% tax bracket, you're saving about $1,200, $1,500 for doing nothing. That's just by owning that property, just by owning that $100,000 worth of property, you're getting a tax benefit, making $1,000. You're also going to make $15,000 when that person exercises the option. So, and then what happens if they don't exercise the option? Then you can go out and sell it to another lease option buyer and do the same thing over again, make another $5,000. If the value has appreciated since then, you can raise the price and you can sell it for even more. Now, why did I sell it for $110 when the value is only $100? It's because you're selling it on terms, and typically you can get an 8 to 10% premium on a property depending on the price. The higher the price, the little less premium you're going to get. But on this price range of property, you're going to get about a 10% premium by selling that property on terms. So it's great all the way around. Now, what's the worst case scenario on a deal like this? Let's say that the buyer who buys that property from you walks away from the deal, and you can't find another investor. That means you have to make these payments, right? No, it means you have to decide whether or not you're going to make the payments. If you make the payments, you're going to protect your seller. And you're trying to protect your seller. You're trying to do your best by them. But you've also made them aware of that this might happen. And if it does, what's going to happen to them? Their credit's going to be trashed, and their property's going to go into foreclosure. It's not going to damage you. But you're going to try to protect them. So you're going to go out there and find another investor for that property, or another buyer for that property. That buyer is going to give you another $5,000. So if it takes you 3, 4, 5 months to get 6, 7 months to get that thing rented, you're still not going to lose any money. If you sell, it's actually having a property, having somebody default and have to get rid of them and get another person in there with another lease option fee is one of the best things that can happen to you. You don't want that to happen to the buyers, but it's not a bad thing to happen to you financially. So your risk is very low in a deal like this. And these deals you can do all day long. There's lots of them out there. So anyway, don't be discouraged by the fact that you have bad credit, by the fact that you don't have money for down payment, that you don't have investors to work with. Do deals like this. Do the right type of marketing. Get those people to come to you. And all you have to do is make the offer, and they'll accept them. Good luck.